Someone said, my measure for if a city's big is if they have an IKEA.
Halifax did not have an IKEA when I moved here, and I waited a year to buy chairs for the dining room table.
Remember when we asked you guys to list the 4 major cities in Canada? We want to hear your thoughts on Canada's top 4. You guys had a lot to say. Let's see what experts think about your hot takes.
What are some of the specifics that you're looking into when you're deciding which ones are the 4 major cities?
Definitely the city size, not just the city, let's say the city of Vancouver, but the whole region. How many universities are there? What's the employment like in those places? Where would new immigrants come if they are settling in that place? Transportation, like are there certain cities that are kind of transportation hubs? I would say for me, it's Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Calgary. The reason, if I think about just transportation, if you're taking a flight across Canada, or if you're taking an international flight, you're basically going to switch flights in one of those cities. If you're going across the country, it's going to be pretty much Toronto or Calgary.
There was someone that said, how are we not putting the capital of the country in the top 4 major cities?
As an immigrant reception area, Ottawa is getting a lot of people from the former French colonies, for example. It's attracting a lot of people for government. It's also a center of arts and culture. So if you're looking at arts and culture, Ottawa probably is on that list.
Another big theme was between Calgary and Edmonton. Which one would be considered 4th?
I would put that probably as number 5. There's a lot going on in Edmonton. My transportation metric is kind of like, can you live in this place without a car? You're down to probably 5 cities, 6 cities maybe in Canada. In the US or in a lot of European countries, that number is a lot higher.
Hey, Andy, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? Part of it certainly comes down to population size. A lot of respondents really kind of came down to, okay, well, what's the biggest city? Pick the following 3 after that biggest city. Another way is to think of them as not only cities, but then also communities. Certainly the Francophone community and population in Canada, that it may not necessarily be, say, Toronto up on top, but maybe Montreal, Quebec, Fredericton, Moncton.
So what you're saying is there's kind of like a cultural aspect towards this conversation as well that can matter to different segments of the population.
Very much so. I think that a lot of this is about culture that helps assert what kind of major city you think Canada has. My idea of the biggest cities in Canada reflects the various types of Chinese food that have kind of developed and changed over time. Somebody like me, a Chinese Canadian, may have a different relationship to cities or systems of cities in Canada than, say, someone who is Indigenous or someone who's a Francophone. I think that this is really a neat question because it isn't just about cities, it's also about who we are.
And so, Andy, give us your top 4 ranked cities.
Of course, up on top, Vancouver, because I live here. I grew up here. I was born here. My family's been here for 100 years. What I really enjoyed was Winnipeg, the Exchange District, the really neat vibes, really what could have been Canada's Chicago. So I have Winnipeg as a number 2. Toronto's all right. Like Toronto's, okay. It's quaint. Let's throw in Toronto. And then the 4th one, another city in metropolitan Vancouver is Surrey, a community that's going to be bigger than the city of Vancouver in metropolitan Vancouver. And it's kind of extraordinary immigrant communities, how it's grown from what was a rural suburban community into really this exciting city in Canada. Vancouver, Winnipeg, Toronto, and Surrey.